The next exercise is a plank with alternate leg hip extension. This is one of the core exercises. It's a core stabilization exercise because you're going to be keeping your core nice and stable while you're moving one leg and then the other leg. So you're going to go into a plank position, just elbows right underneath your shoulders and your hips in a nice straight line with your body. And just keeping that position with your spine in a nice straight line, you're just going to barely lift one leg up and then lower it down, and then barely lift the other leg up and lower it down. The entire time keeping that core really stable. Now you don't want to be lifting that leg too high where you start to lose your form and start to drop your hips. So you want to keep your body in a nice straight line and only lift as high as you can keep that body nice and stable. And just lift one side and then the other side. The other thing you want to be careful of is not letting those hips come up and then also not letting them drop down. So nice stable position, one leg, then the other leg, back and forth. The anti-rotation cable press, you're going to place yourself in a free motion cable machine with the cable pulling from the side of you. So standing right across from the cable, you're going to pull that cable right to the center of your body and holding that cable, so it should be pulling you off center. You're going to keep your body nice and straight and not let that pull you off center. Squeezing your glutes, chest up tall, stomach tight. You're just going to push that straight out in front of you. Now while I'm doing that, I'm feeling the cable pulling me in one direction, so I really have to use my core to keep myself stable. So you're just going to perform all of those on one side, and it looks easier than it is. You're going to go ahead and just keep pushing out on one side, keeping that core stable, and then you're going to go ahead and switch and do the other side. Next exercise is a medicine ball floor slam, and this is a power exercise, so you really want to use your whole body and power that ball right through the floor. So you're going to reach up as high as you can, and you're just going to stretch and then throw that ball right down to the floor with all the power that you have. Up, throw down, and repeat that exercise for the number of repetitions. Each time if you want to add a heavier medicine ball, you can, but just make sure you're really keeping that speed and power happening as you're doing the exercise. For the front-loaded split squat, you're going to go ahead and either use a kettlebell or a dumbbell. I'll show you both. You're going to go ahead and hold the kettlebell. You can go ahead and hold it bottoms up. That will keep the handle from hitting you in the face. And chest is up nice and tall. The key is just holding a load on the front of your body. That really will engage your upper back and create the best position for you. So it'll really make sure you have good form when you're doing this exercise. So you're going to go ahead and put yourself into a split squat position, which is going to basically be like a lunge position. And you're just going to lower yourself straight down, keeping that chest up nice and tall, and then coming back up. You're going to perform all of those repetitions on one side. Keep your weight driving through the heel of that front foot and squeezing that front glute. And then as you lower yourself down, core is nice and tight, body is upright, and then straightening back up. And then with a dumbbell, all you're going to do, same exact thing. You can just hold the dumbbell. You can hold it on either side. So again, front loaded, and you're just going to hold it just like that. Same exact thing. Lower yourself straight down. Keep the knee going right over the toe. Stand back up. And repeat for the number of repetitions. Now as the repetitions are decreasing, make sure you're grabbing a heavier load each week. Next exercise is an inverted row with the TRX. So this is a great body weight exercise, core stabilization exercise, and really going to use your upper back. A lot of us spend a lot of time sitting, driving, on the phone, so this is one of those great rowing exercises that's going to pull those shoulder blades back, really keeping that back up nice and tall. So you're going to walk your feet underneath the TRX as low as you feel comfortable, and you're just going to straighten those arms out, and then you're going to go ahead and squeeze your back, row yourself up. Straighten back out, squeeze your back, row yourself up. So the key is that you want to go ahead and keep it from, you don't want to let those shoulders shrug up to your ears, so keep your shoulders down, pull those shoulder blades back in together, and then straighten back out. As it increases in intensity and you're doing lower repetitions, you want to go ahead and walk yourself underneath that TRX even more and perform that repetition. The next thing you can do is go ahead and place your feet up on a small step and actually take yourself into an even harder position. So you can really make this exercise as hard or as easy as you need to. the Romanian deadlift, you can use either a barbell or a dumbbell. I'm going to show you both. The goal with this exercise is to really hinge from the hip. So we want to think about it all from the hip. So you're going to go ahead and you can either place a barbell in a rack, and you're going to start with maybe just a standard bar, and then you'll be able to add weight as you're doing less repetitions. You're going to go ahead and pick up that bar just outside of shoulder width apart, stand up nice and tall, step away from the rack, and feet shoulder width apart, chest up nice and tall, shoulders are back, and you're just going to go ahead and bend at the hip, kick those hips back, keeping a nice neutral back. Weight is back on the heels, so you should actually be able to wiggle your toes at this point, and then you're just going to stand right back up. Now what you'll notice is the bar is staying right along my legs, so I'm really just, that bar is like shaving my legs right down, and then standing back up. So just keep that bar right along your legs as you kick those hips back, and then really keep that back nice and straight so you're not rounding over at all. You're keeping your back straight. Standing single arm press, you're going to grab a dumbbell and just bring it right up to your shoulder level. Feet are shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, core is nice and tight. Standing straight up and down, you're just going to drive that dumbbell straight up over your head and then lower it back down. As you lower down, go ahead and keep the dumbbell right over your elbow. You don't want to let it collapse in, okay? So you want to keep it over the elbow and push straight up, lower back down. And you're just going to repeat for the number of repetitions. Straight up, back down. Now every time you push that dumbbell over your head, you're actually putting more of a demand on your core. So having it offset and having it overhead is actually working not just your upper body, but it's also working your core as well. So really keep your stomach nice and tight, knees slightly bent, and just push that dumbbell up and down for the desired repetitions.